Good evening. Welcome, and pledge of allegiance, please. Please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the Village of Montgomery Board meeting. It won't be a meeting tonight. 3 of our trustees sent emails that they will not be attending because they don't want to appeal without an attorney. Now, we've had several board meetings without an attorney in the present. I do have our village attorney for our planning board. He's on standby, and I could call him. Not have him handle it, but he would be on standby, but they didn't go for that, so that's that. I'm in the process of interviewing attorneys. When I get one, I'll bring it in front of the board, I'll bring a couple in front of the board, and we'll deal with it from there. But that's how it is. I mean, we've had meetings, I can go through the dates here. Well, we've had meetings, no attorney, November 18th, August 1st, April 1st, and several prior to that, along with when I was a trustee. You don't need an attorney to have a board meeting. So, with that, we move on. Tonight, we can't do an abstract, but our 2 police officers who are being promoted to sergeants. They had a lot more pressure. I'll stand up. They had a lot more pressure than the average police officer taking the sergeant's exam. Because they were promoted, they were made provisional sergeants. And that's a lot of pressure. If you don't pass the exam, the guys you were bossing around with, now you're with them again. So there's a lot of pressure that they had to pass. And they had to score in the top 3, which they did. The exams are extremely hard. They went to school for it. So I am proud that they are sergeants in Montgomery here. And tonight, family that are here, friends, you should be proud of them too. Because their members are probably the best. I have to take that back a little bit. I'm retired from the city of Newburgh Police Department, so I will be going to their Christmas dinner, and I'll hear about that. All right. First one up. Who wants to go first? Family, friends, you're all invited to stand with them. We will be out of the way. You pick what you want to respond to. This is your moment. Folks, get up there. It's your time. We'll stay there and watch. Can that microphone work, Kevin? Is that microphone work? No, that one over there.
I think I can talk loud enough.
Go ahead.
I, Jeffrey Blackford, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of police sergeant according to the best of my ability.
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of police sergeant according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, we're good.
You guys do not have to stay for the meeting. With your permission,
Perfectly sure.
relatives and friends, you should be very proud of them.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're going to continue with the meeting. I want to touch on a couple of things. First, I want to bring up the Hudson Valley Food Bank. November 22nd, we met at the Hudson Valley Food Bank. They were handing out turkeys and Thanksgiving packages. It was really, really nice. Really a good thing, and the folks who were getting were very, very appreciative. That, like I said before, people don't want warehouses. That's a personal thing. But if we get warehouses like that, that place is nice. That place is really, really nice and does a good thing. Bye, guys. I want to bring up the Marin Court incident. The road here, Marin Court Road. This thing grew out of proportion. It really grew legs. It got crazy here. And that's probably the reason, because I don't have social media and I don't have Facebook. Apparently this was something that from the 70s or 80s, before we were here, was supposed to be a road that went all the way through here. It's supposed to be a road, okay. I didn't know anything about it. My kids played baseball down there for years. My grandkids are now playing baseball. Well, something came up, we were told by folks that live over there, and I'm not gonna give any names away, that folks who live there were using that to cut through the baseball field to get out here on Bachelor Street and get out of 211 quicker. So I was like, well, that's not good, And then it came up, we want to put a road there. What do we want to put a road there? We want to put a road there so people can get out faster. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And then I thought that was it. Well, then social media and Facebook took off like it was going to be an exit off of 84. That was never the intent. The intent was to have it be an access road in case, God forbid, there was an emergency down there, because apparently somebody had an incident on the pickleball court. Now, I know this firsthand. My kids play baseball all over the place, my girls. And my wife was the manager of their teams. We were out Minnesota, and the girl slid into first base right in front of us. She broke her leg, her ankle. Everybody heard it. Well, the ambulance came along, and they couldn't figure out how to get there. And the parents are yelling, drive across the field, drive across the field. Well, that eventually happened. Well, that was the intent there. Okay, put a couple cones there. If they need to go through, they need to go through. If God forbid it was an emergency, I would have drove a radio car right across the pitcher's mound to get to the kid. But we just wanted it there. So DPW, they removed whatever trees that had to be on village property, and that was the intent. Well, it grew legs that it's going to be a road, it's going to be this, it's going to be street lit, it's going to have blacktop, it's going to have item 4. No, that was not the intent. If I paid more attention, well, I'm not going to have social media, but if I listened more, I would have seen this growing out. So that's it. It stopped. There's no public hearing. Nothing's going to happen. And I had a good discussion with Mark about this. If we need legislation to put something through there, we'll do it. That's all we want. Because right now, all you got is Bachelor Street. And cars are parked all over, especially when it's All-Stars. They're all parked, or summer camp or something like that. It's going to be a struggle to get a fire engine down there. Whatever. That was just another way. That was it. So that's over with. Rumors squashed.
Point of order. I thought you said at the beginning of this
Speaking
meeting.
for 3 minutes. Right now, we're speaking 3 minutes.
3 minutes what?
It's a meeting, right? We're talking.
You have no.
How can that be a meeting without?
You have no forum.
She'll have your time. We're going on.
I don't want time. You have, this is no.
There's no forum. You
They can't conduct business or take votes, so they can start the system and talk. It's not a
You'll have
meeting.
your time. Let's
Well, you
move
keep
on.
going in a meeting, that's why I'm confused.
Well,
I'm just saying.
They can't do the agenda.
Yeah, because you're going to the agenda.
No,
What do you mean?
They can't do business.
But he's still on the
It
agenda.
doesn't matter what the
The
agenda
next
says.
up is operation.
You're not voting on anything.
They can't vote on anything or conduct business, they can talk.
But you're still going through the agenda.
Doesn't
Darlene, I know even you know, that mayor said at the beginning of this meeting, there will be no meeting.
Right, so why are we having a meeting?
He said it.
It's not an official meeting.
What
We
is
don't
an
have a
official
quorum.
meeting?
Why are we here without a quorum?
You don't have to be here.
Please just cooperate. We haven't spoken yet.
Where?
Please just cooperate. Okay, the next thing is the Toys for Tots training. It was going around that it was being here at 12:45. No, it's 1:45. That was a mistake. We corrected it. It was a mistake. There's another thing that was going out, that why aren't the Marines doing it? Operation Toy Train. What is this, a private organization? No. It's the same thing, except the Marines were deployed. That's all. We're doing the exact same thing. The Marines were deployed. They're not keeping them on the train. Maybe they'll have them next year, but that's what we were told. We knew about this. These meetings start February or March. We start meeting on this. So we knew that this was going to happen. I mean, they have them guarding all different places, all over the country. And I understand what they're doing. Toys for Tots training was not a priority, and I get it. But we're still doing it. And the toys are still being distributed to the Hudson Valley, or to the Orange County area. Code Red is down. It's completely down. We don't know why. The company, we're trying to get another company, but I was going to make an I'm sorry.
It's local, it's not just.
It's both. This company is so. If we have to make an announcement, we'll have to put on Village Facebook. We'll do whatever we have to do to get the message out there. But I like the Code Red. It's not running. Next thing, DPW. I mean, these guys do a fantastic job. Really. I was with them today. They were out there early in the morning doing it. And again, not a vote getter, but they're underpaid. We need to pay them more money. They are underpaid and they are very, very dedicated here. That's it I have to say on that. The events discussion, we're still waiting for a meeting to be rescheduled on that. Rescind the public hearing on Marion Court, over, finished, done, taken care of.
No, we can't. We said it.
Yeah.
Because we don't have.
Yeah, so that's it, but we're not having. Make a motion to utilize, can't do that. The two sergeants were sworn in. We cannot authorize the purchase of a new patrol vehicle because we don't have state bidding. So we asked Joe to make phone calls because it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, they were on state bidding. And we're gonna hire, we did a interview of a police officer, Michael Gallagher. Good guy, came up from the city, works out in the town, very professional in his experience. And that's it, I can't, I wish we could have had a meeting. Oh, we can't. So that's it on that. I open up the floor for discussion. Anybody? First up?
Can I just, Mary Lippincott, Robert Street, I forgot where I live for the last. Toys for Tots. I can speak loud enough, Joe, not to worry, I'm a nurse. Toys for Tots needed someone to take a week-long class for them to come through Orange County. That's why no one in Orange County is having Toys for Tots. We are doing the toy train, which Tracy has organized. We have been down at the armory sorting toys, and toys will be distributed to people in Orange County. I think she said she has 300 applications, 700, something like that. So I think the cutoff date for applying for toys is December 8th. So if you know anybody that needs toys for their children, please look at Tracy's Facebook page or whatever, and she will direct you wherever it needs to go.
And they're right at South William Street, right? On Newburgh, right down the armory, right?
The armory, yes. That's where they will be distributed from.
Prior to that, it was Stewart Airport.
Right,
And
and
they need help on the 15th, is it that the truck is coming?
no, the 15th.
15th.
The train will be here on the 14th, and the tractor trailer will be down at the armory on the 15th. And if anybody wants to volunteer to unload it, we need lots of volunteers. I think she said 10 a.m. So if anybody's got spare time, come on down. That's all I have to say.
This will be our 12th
On
year
the
of doing
15th.
this.
On the 15th.
This will be our 12th, I believe our 12th year of doing this. And it all
Yes.
started with a conversation with the railroad engineer. He asked me if I knew what Toys for Tots was, and I did it with my brother in the Marines in the 60s. So conversation go on, he says, you think we can do that here? And I said, let's see what we can do. The next thing, the Toys for Tots train was born here, and my wife has been the elf on it since that day. It starts out, this year we're starting out in Middletown, by Sam's Club, actually, Walkville. And then we take a bus all the way to Port Jervis, and we work Warwick, Sugarloaf, and we come into Walden, then we go backwards, go to Campbell Hall, Montgomery, then Campbell Hall, then we go to Middletown. We're not doing Port Jervis this year. They wanted us to do Jersey, but it's just too long, it's really long, these operations. And the days they pick are the days that, obviously they can do with the times they picked according to the main railroad line out there. So those we don't know till maybe 3 weeks to a month before, but we know the day. Like I probably can tell you the day in January when it's going to be in December next year. They tell us on that. So we've had several meetings on that. It's pretty interesting. And it's nice and it's a good thing. So thank you, Mary. Next.
Could you explain to all of us, I guess, maybe me, the past 3-4 meetings, the audience has addressed why you're not putting things on old business when we're asking you questions. Could you explain the methodology of how things get on old business?
long as they get our own business.
She's back here.
If it's something that's recurring or it needs to be voted on, it'd be put on old business for the next meeting.
What do you mean needs to be voted on?
If it's something that was tabled,
No, okay, I'll just bring up one thing. I know many people have come here and talked to this board about the drug problem, what's being done about it, and you guys say nothing about it to us. That's one
I
of
think actions speak louder than words. They pretty much did a good job in a certain spot, in a certain area that I was totally aware of what was going on. And that also affected the Marion Court thing. Now, I can't say anything further about it. And that's that. I know
police
other
can't
things that's
tell
going on.
us what they're doing, then it will get out, and what's the point? Then the people who are doing the drugs will know.
I think-
I didn't say anything about the police. I said this board, when we ask the questions, never answer it. And table it for old business, but there's, has been, just a few months ago, that we had a big thing on Union, and we have Taft, that there's a house there, and I'm sure the chief is very much aware of that house.
I don't know why you just bring that up in a meeting and not just talk to the chief on the side.
Because I asked you.
Because
I've
I'm
asked you
telling
a number
why
of
would you
times.
bring that up in a
You're the
meeting
mayor.
that's on
You keep
TV?
reminding us you're the mayor.
Yeah, I know that. Why would you bring that up and not speak with the chief on the side? Why would you bring that up to
Handle
the city?
the drugs.
That sounds crazy.
I asked you, how does things get on old business? That's all I asked you, Mike.
Let's move on here, because this is not the way this meeting is gonna go tonight, but thank you. Next up, please. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just curious, when you said Marion Court is done, does that mean that you have stopped construction on it?
There's no construction going on, but that's it.
So there will be no
Done.
construction on
Done.
it? Can you say what got it going to begin with, and whether the
Denise, we
the
were
trees
told
you
by,
did
we
plant
were told
together?
by the attorney, if the superintendent of public works deemed it necessary as a safety precaution to have the road through there, it was his decision and his decision only.
So the superintendent of
where we
public
went.
works was the initiator of it?
I didn't hear that, I'm sorry.
I'm asking whether it was the superintendent of public works that initiated it.
No, it wasn't him, and he's not taking the blame for anything. It would be me. I just said, go ahead, whatever has to be done. Not thinking before. Just started getting clear stuff, just so a fire truck. It's over, it's done with. He did not do anything wrong other than he needs someplace to get through there, and then the building inspector said the same thing, so, okay. Yes, ma'am.
How is it going to be deny access to the public then? How are you going to, people see the trees are knocked down, is there going to be a
I
fence
don't know,
up?
maybe we'll put a cone there, cones, or maybe we'll put a gate with, the emergency service. I don't wanna
It's in Marion Court, there's posts.
Yes. I'm just
Well, they
worried
have
about
to
putting
go,
a
like,
gate
I
with a
haven't seen
lock, because if you gotta get somewhere quick, I'm gonna get out, play with the lock, and start, I crashed the gate down, right?
Right. I'm just thinking about the kids.
I wouldn't thought of something, but we'll call
Yeah,
it
I
something.
mean, the kids with their bikes and, all of that, it could be.
Yeah, but anybody thinks that we were gonna have cars going back and forth, my grandson played it, that's dumb. But,
Down the trees.
I know,
Next
just
up.
the trees.
huh?
We want the trees back.
Sorry. Next up? Yes.
Mark Tomaszewski.
Don't even bother, Mark, I don't even know if they're
Okay.
looking.
I do want to talk about Marion Court, and I do wish the whole board was here to hear. I sent a letter yesterday.
Yeah, so do we.
Well, I sent a, I'll turn around.
Thank you.
I sent a letter yesterday to the village board regarding Marion Court. At the last meeting, somebody made a comment about streets are illegal in the park, and got me thinking, so I went online and there's a document there where, called parkland alienation. You cannot in New York State, whether it's, when a municipal government owns, you cannot take parkland and convert it into anything, because for the benefit of drainage. And that includes streets specifically. So that was a violation of state law. You have to get legislative approval and it has to be signed by the government. So getting after the fact, and that's done prior to doing it, not after the fact. So I'm disappointed that it was done this way because being on the state seat of the town, Little Center for Natural Resources and Parklands and woods are natural resources should have been discussed publicly. People who live in the area should have been notified of what was going on, and it should have been done through the proper channel.
Well, on that note, we don't know that for the fact, Mark. I will check in further on that. I know the town has,
Town
roads
just
all
put a
over.
road in from,
If two roads don't make a right, I don't care what the town, I don't care what the town.
Mark, of course you say it doesn't mean it's gospel. And
It's
you
illegal
said to
here,
me
it's
when I spoke-
illegal in
when I
town.
spoke to you on the
In the
phone, you
county.
said,
Solid, but
Mark, with all
all
fairness, when you spoke on the phone yesterday, you said, that's the way I interpreted Mike by reading his pamphlet. It could be
Did you read
different.
the pamphlet?
No, I didn't, because I was interviewing attorneys, so I didn't have time to.
Did anyone on the board read the pamphlet?
I don't know, they're not here.
Okay, well,
But it doesn't mean because you say it, it's not. So, we'll check it into it. We'll check it
right
out.
up here. It says, what is, what is not, and what may be part of the alienation. The following have been determined by the courts to be alienations. Use of parkland by a municipality for non-park purpose, even when the use may be public in nature. Examples include use as a water filtration facility, a landfill, a museum, senior housing, temporary parking of police and municipal people, or street or subway construction.
Okay, well, we'll have an attorney look at that, because if this sewer plant thing goes in, we'll be taking parkland for that.
Okay, my problem.
Listen, I don't wanna argue about that, let's not work it out.
I don't want, but I don't like you're doing this, Mike, this is not, I don't feel comfortable, I don't like arguing with people.
Well, I'm not arguing, I'm just telling you we'll go further on this, we'll check it. What happened was, it grew legs, and they thought it was gonna be
If this was done publicly, if everyone on the board knew about it and the public knew about it, maybe somebody would have brought it to your attention and it would have been done the proper way. Because honestly, I never knew about the alienation until I looked it up.
I didn't know about this, it was happened, it was.
So that's what I'm saying, you do it and see, if you don't tell everyone about it, make it public, make everyone know about it, then you can, maybe somebody in the public.
Well, we will have that checked into.
It's too late now, you knock down trees.
Well, the trees are on village property.
It doesn't make it, whether I think the market or not.
I don't know.
Well, that's.
I checked our Department of Public Works, he said they're village property.
Are in the park. If they're in the park, you knock them down, and that's,
Well, okay, we'll check it
And I
out.
don't like being up here arguing or discussing this, but I think what was done is done the wrong way. So maybe we take a lesson away from this and say, we're not gonna put trees back.
We will.
Maybe we should do this where the board knows everything, the public knows.
Well, we will, we will check, I called you on the phone, we spoke about 20 minutes on this thing, so I put the conversation ended nicely.
It did it, and it's fine.
Okay, so when I ended up in front of everybody like we didn't have this conversation, which
No.
we did, I thought it was a very pleasant
Listen,
conversation. I will look into it, but I've got a pile of stuff which I'm
Bring up a
not.
conversation on the public.
Yeah, well, okay,
I mean,
we'll look
it
into
wasn't-
it.
it wasn't like we didn't
Listen,
make a
Mark, I
secret.
admit that it went out of control. It went out of control. I'm surprised somebody didn't say it was gonna be an airport out there. All right, we'll check into it, I promise, we'll check into it. I'm trying to get us an attorney here. So,
Okay.
I appreciate it.
A phone call to the state parks department could settle.
We'll check into that.
So, and
Thank you.
anyone's allowed to do that, so anyone in the public, anyone on the board, you can do it, anyone can call the state parks and come down, take a look and see what the situation is.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, thank you.
Next up? Yes, sir.
Hi, Rob Salad, One Pine Court. I just want to talk a little bit about an issue I've been having and I'm glad to see that Mr. Frank is no longer representing the village because he thought he was Bruce Cutler and these guys were Gambino Franklin. Transparency was the last thing he was interested in. He even said,
I said it was no.
Like the road, he doesn't
so on August 19th, when he said to me, when I suggested to a trustee that something that I found to be offensive to me, I was going to let it slide, but if he did it again, I'd hold him accountable. He actually snapped back and said, no one's holding anyone accountable here unless it's the board, and certainly not you. So he seems to have this aura that elected officials, public officials are not accountable to the public, so I have no idea where he gets that from or why, but we're moving on from that. And what I wanted to do today was, one of the biggest issues I had is I would file a FOIL request with the village, and through the clerk, the attorney would suggest that those records are not allowed to be disclosed under a particular law because it was intra-agency or interagency email, and he just carte blanche dismissed the opportunity to see everything that was in the emails or what was requested. that opinion is entirely wrong. It's entirely wrong, and it was said to be wrong a couple of weeks ago. I made reference to it at the last meeting, because the Committee on Open Government, one of their head attorneys, responded to my appeal through the village and to me directly, and said absolutely not. Those are to be disclosed. It doesn't matter if someone thinks they're confidential because they said so. It doesn't matter if emails that Trustee Piccirillo wrote about me say the word confidential next to my name.
You shouldn't allow that, Mike.
Allow what?
You know you're not supposed to be calling out people.
I'm referring to emails that say the word confidential next to my name. I'm not saying anything.
Off the top.
The topic is whatever I say. It's public comment.
Please.
Is that anything you say?
Anything anybody says. Public comment. Anyway, so I brought along a couple of these Open Government Committee, okay, you guys want to do that?
No.
So who lives in whose head? We're going to go there.
Why?
In one, because you suggested it.
I didn't suggest the thing.
Anyway, in one of the emails that was written about me by a trustee, the trustee says in the email that she's been making police reports against me with the town of Montgomery Police, the village of Montgomery Police, and the Orange County Sheriff's Department since 2024. Now, I assure the board who's here, the only interactions I've ever had with any of with that particular trustee has been in front of the public here. So if you think I've committed a crime,
Why you're speaking to that, not
I'm
us?
speaking to everybody, because that's why
The board, you're addressing the
don't
board.
speak to me, how's that?
I'm
Let
addressing
him
us.
speak. Let him
I'm addressing the
speak,
public
James.
comment.
The board.
James, let him speak and
I
then
am
you get him
letting
to
him
speak.
speak. Thanks.
So anyhow, it's alleged or said by that person that they've been making police reports against me with 3 agencies for 2 years. This is public record. You could have it. You want to read it? I'll give it to you.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
So
You're addressing
You'll be
that,
able to
not
talk,
me.
you'll be able to talk.
Anyway,
Let members comment.
I wanted to share with the board members that are here and the clerk as well, since the foil has fallen on the clerk. There's a decision from the Committee of Open Government, have dozens of these in the same reference. So it says here, first and significantly, the courts have consistently interpreted the Freedom of Information Law in a manner that fosters maximum access, as stated by the state's highest court, the Court of Appeals. Here's the quote. To be sure, the balance is presumptively struck in favor of disclosure, but in 8 specific, narrowly constructed instances where the government agency convincingly demonstrates its need, disclosure will not be ordered. Thus, the agency does not have carte blanche to withhold any information it pleases. Rather, it is required to articulate particularized and specific justification, and if necessary, submit the requested materials to the court for in-camera inspection to exempt its records from disclosure. And it cites court cases. Only where the material requested falls squarely within the ambit of one of those statutory exemptions may disclosure be withheld. So, in other words, even if an entire document falls into a may be withheld category, only that particularized material within that document can be redacted. The rest you get. I was getting carte blanche. This is a cover under 87.2b or whatever, interagency email, you can't have it. Nonsense. And there's plenty of court precedent and plenty of documents. So everything the village does, or a village officer does, creates a village record. All of those records are to be publicly accessible to whoever wants them, except those that are statutorily forbidden from disclosure, like a minor child's victim's name or something. Anything that has discretion that says may be disclosed or may be withheld, narrowly focused items, not carte blanche. It's an interagency, you can't have it. So if there's stuff you want, you don't think you have it, they're giving it to you because of some exception they're using, go to Committee for Open Government, look it up. There's dozens of these. Say they denied my FOIL, you get dozens of these various decisions and opinions of theirs that you could use in your appeal, which is exactly what I did. I sent, I believe, 5 different references to the village. And I thank the clerk for her efforts in cooperating and got a little bit of a pain in the ass when it comes to FOIL requests, because when I hear something, I want the information. I don't go with, I called someone and they said, show me. So that's what I do, and I apologize for the extra burdens of my emails. But I think we're getting to a better place in that regard. Transparency is really important. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak?
Speed, 205 Tompkins Road. You know, I've been on the planning board for almost 10 years now. And sometimes people go on vacation, they have family emergencies. I mean, I missed a meeting one time, I was in Ireland, you know, hey, look, I let my chairperson know right away, I let my fellow planning board members know right away, because in order for a government to conduct business, we need a quorum. That's 3 out of the 5 members is a majority, and that is a quorum, all right? You know, we don't need a municipal attorney to listen to residents' concerns, to receive updates from the applicant, comments from our engineer. We can conduct business without a municipal attorney, and we can move forward. So, I mean, by Trustee Noblin, Picarello, and Ibriani not coming tonight was a dereliction of duty, in my opinion, to the villagers. All right, you know, it's acting irresponsible and, you know, reckless. And, you know, when the government shut down from October 1st, the federal government, to November 12th, there was a lot of chaos in this, especially air traffic controllers. They weren't getting paid, you know? And I gotta tell you, all you 3 trustees that weren't here tonight, you can laugh at me all the way to the bank, because I'm gonna have to pay your salary for not being here tonight and not doing your duty and responsibility to the village residents. Thank you.
Yes, sir?
James Tiernan, 394 Anvil Drive, Montgomery. I mean, there were a couple of meetings that our mayor missed, and I would never get up and say he was in dereliction of duty, or he should be here. I don't think it is wise to not have a lawyer present at a meeting. Maybe it's a dereliction of duty to have a meeting without a lawyer. So I think there are different ways to look at this. And to, again, smear a group of people because they are not here because the lawyer is not here, but support someone that wasn't here a few meetings, I know that's okay. I don't think that's really that fair, to be very honest.
Explain further.
What?
I don't know what you're saying.
I didn't understand. Why are you talking to me, first of all? I'm just
No,
saying.
I don't understand.
Okay, but I'm not dialoguing. I'm doing my 3 minutes, right? We're not talking.
Oh, I thought you were asking me a question.
All right, I'm not dialoguing with you. I'm just talking.
I'm sorry, I have hearing aids. I hope you never.
I believe
forget.
you.
do.
Oh, I have other
thought you were
problems.
talking to me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not talking to you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're fine. So I think to say that the 3 trustees that aren't here are doing a dereliction of duty is a grave misservice to them and to all they bring to this board. And I think maybe it's a wise decision not to meet and to make sure there is an imperative to have a lawyer here when we have board meetings to make sure everything is on the up and up. Look at what happened with Montgomery Court Road because no lawyer was present, right? And other issues that have happened. So that is all I have to say. Thank you.
Well, without getting really into it, look what happened on August 1st when there was no attorney here with the fire hydrants and the sewer plant.
You're agreeing with me?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to get an attorney. I want an attorney here.
No, I believe you.
All
I'm just
attorney
saying
left.
that.
And
I'm just saying that because the lawyer is not here, there's understandable reasons why they might not want to come. It can't be, oh, that's a little blanketing. You agree with that? I know you did. So, yeah.
I'm telling you I do.
I know, yeah. So let's tell Tom that.
But if we
Yes.
don't get an attorney, you can't just stop the wheels of progress here. We
I agree
still
with
have to
that.
get things going.
We can, but we can't do it without a forum, so yes.
Yeah, I mean, we still have abstract, we have bills to pay, we have things to get done.
That is true.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you do, if you can't get an attorney, I'm trying.
I know you are.
But you just
And
can't
I'm sure
freeze
it's not
everything.
easy.
You just can't freeze everything, so, you know, it's just. I'm signing bills here as we're talking, because we've got stuff backed up.
Yeah, I'll see
I
you.
appreciate your comment, I do.
No, I
really
do, and I appreciate you dialoguing with me, but
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know how to take that.
All right, okay. Anybody else? All right, thank you very much for coming, have a safe trip home.